Hey guys, Tara Ryan here, and today's tip from Tara is about condos and inspections and questions about the safety and soundness of the property. It is a continuation of our series on condos, and this one is one you're not going to want to miss. So let's talk through it. I want to share my screen so you can see one of the forms that we lenders have to use. It's called the Condo Project Questionnaire. A lot of lenders have their own version of this, but it does have to ask this same information that Fannie Mae and or Freddie Mac requires. It asks all kinds of stuff, right, about the lender name and address, some details about the HOA, but I want to show you all the way on page 6 is where we get to some relatively new things that we have to ask, and it all concerns the building's safety, soundness, structural integrity, and habitability. So basically we're asking, is there anything wrong with this project that makes it unsafe that we need to be aware about or that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac want to know about? Here's how it impacts you. We specifically have to ask, when was the last building inspection by any licensed engineer or building inspector? Right? Were there any findings of any required repairs? And if so, have those repairs been completed? They also have to ask, is the HOA aware of any deficiencies related to the safety, soundness, or structural integrity? If so, what are they? Are there any outstanding violations, zoning ordinances, etc.? And this is where it gets interesting. We get into, has there been a reserve study in the last 3 years? And if so, we need a copy of it. Are there any planned special assessments related to this project? And tell us what is the purpose of those special assessments. So all of these questions are relatively new, right? So a year ago, we didn't have to ask, was there a reserve study? Yes, we've asked about special assessments before, but more from a financial standpoint and not from hey, why did they need the special assessment? Is that related to some outstanding repairs that are not completed? So this is a change, and it's more information. More information means they have more data to work with to deny projects. It was basically what's happening. So right now here in Atlanta, we are seeing more condo projects be unwarrantable, meaning not meeting Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines. We can't warrant that they meet those guidelines, so it's unwarrantable, which means we can't lend there. And you have to go with a alternative style of lending called a non-warrantable condo loan. That's going to come at a higher interest rate. Okay, so I showed you all the questions that we have to ask. Then in reality, what happens? Well, then we have to collect that documentation, get the reserve study, get the building inspection, and then send it in for us to review to see, can we show that this meets guidelines? In real life, it means that if any of those repairs have not been fully completed, then we can't lend there. Give you an example. One that we found out this week will not work. There are some balcony repairs happening. Even though our subject unit has already had the balcony repaired and is perfectly acceptable, the entire project is not acceptable because not all of the balconies are complete. Okay. What types of repairs are they concerned about? Well, anything having to do with safety. So things involving staircases, balconies, even parking garages, things that have structural impacts are definitely a big deal. And bottom line, this means we have to continue some of the things we've talked about. One, we need a special stipulation to protect our buyer's earnest money if it is found that the project doesn't meet guidelines. So you need to use that on every single offer for every buyer who's looking at condominiums or townhomes. I would do this on townhomes also because sometimes a townhome is actually legally a condo. And also townhomes have requirements for their master insurance policy that could be an issue. So use that stipulation. Secondly, if you're listing a condo or a townhome, go to an expert to get a pre-review. We can do that for you quickly and easily so you know before you get into it what you're dealing with. And lastly, if you have a buyer looking at condos or townhomes, get them to an expert. We want to help them. We want to help you. We can do this research for you even before you make an offer and certainly get everything cleared up early in the process so that we're not finding out, as many of you are, unfortunately, from other lenders the day before closing that the deal's not going to work. Okay, my commitment to you is we're going to do things quickly and upfront and keep that conversation going. Please like and subscribe below for more great content like this. And if I can do anything to help you, please reach out.